This video explores how to unify the science of learning with the practice of formative assessment, essentially looking inside the black box of the classroom. Decades of reform have poured resources into the classroom, the black box, but with little impact on student achievement. We must focus on engineering what happens inside the box, not just manipulating the inputs. The lever for change is formative assessment. This involves minute-by-minute adaptation of instruction and day-by-day responsiveness to student needs. It is not benchmark or interim testing. Effective formative assessment can double the speed of student learning. Cognitive load theory is key to understanding learning. The bottleneck is working memory, which has a tiny capacity. The goal is to move information into long-term memory by constructing schemas. Overwhelming working memory stops learning. We manage the load by maximizing germane load, minimizing extraneous load, and managing intrinsic load. Teaching is the art of eliminating extraneous load so students have bandwidth for germane load. For novices, explicit instruction is more effective due to limited working memory. As expertise builds, guided instruction becomes redundant. This is the expertise reversal effect. We must also avoid the redundancy effect by not providing unnecessary information. The Clinical Engineering Playbook outlines 5 strategies of formative assessment: clarifying learning intentions, engineering effective discussions, providing moving feedback, activating students as resources, and activating students as owners. Strategy 1 is to clarify learning intentions. We often confuse the context, like changing a bicycle tire, with the learning skill, like writing instructions. Clarifying the intention, such as through example analysis, helps students focus on the skill, not the context. Strategy 2 is to engineer effective discussion. Questioning checks schema formation, not just listening. The optimal wait time is 3 to 5 seconds. Techniques like the Popsicle stick method, which uses randomized selection, ensure every student engages their working memory. Strategy 3 involves feedback that moves learners forward. The only important thing is what students do with it. Feedback should be, quote, detective work, forcing students to re-engage and reinforce the schema, rather than just following instructions on traditional grading. Strategy 4, peers as resources, involves techniques like think, pair, share, where peer explanation often reduces extraneous load. Strategy 5, students as owners, uses systems like the traffic light system for real-time signaling of understanding, allowing intervention before learning failure. The trap is knowing that versus knowing how. Just knowing the theory is not enough. Teaching is a habit. Cognitive overload can force a reversion to old, less effective habits, as evidenced by teachers reverting to short wait times under pressure. The solution is teacher learning communities, or TLCs. It's easier to act your way into a new way of thinking. TLCs use small groups, sustained time, an action plan focused on one specific change, and peer accountability to reinforce habit change. The unified theory integrates formative strategy and cognitive load impact. Clarifying intentions reduces intrinsic load. Engineering discussion checks working memory. Feedback as detective work optimizes germane load. Peers as resources reduce extraneous load. We must respect the biological limits of the human brain and equip teachers with tools to adapt in real time. Standards can only be raised if teachers can effectively tackle this task. The classroom is the prime locus for change, opening the black box.